Okay. Today we are discuss on a great topic of physics. Name is photoelectric effect. So, first of all, we will discuss on photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect means when a suitable frequency of light is incident on the metal surface, according to Albert Einstein. When a suitable frequency of light is incident on the metal surface, then electron will start ejecting from the metal surface. Then electron will start emitting from the metal surface, but there is a three process to emit the electrons from the surface of metal. First is thermionic emission. When any metal is heated, then electrons upper surface of metals electrons gain energy and eject out or emit from the metal surface. This is the first process. And second, field emission. Field emission means when a strong electric field is applied on the surface, or any metal surface is placed in between the strong electric field, then electrons are pulled out from the metal surface. This is called field emission. And third and last is called photoelectric emission. This is the best example, photoelectric emission. But all can emits the electron from the metal surface. This is spontaneous emission, and the time taken in this process is 10 to the power minus 8 second. When a suitable frequency of light is incident on the metal surface, then electron starts emitting from the metal surface. This phenomenon is called photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect. This is the most important things. What is the evidence of photoelectrons? Means when a suitable frequency of light is incident on the metal surface, then electrons starts emitting from the metal surface. Such type of emission of electrons are called photoelectric emission, and the electrons they are emitting from the metal surface are called photoelectron, and this process is called photoelectric emission. Okay, yeah, photoelectric effect. So what is the evidence? What is the proof? Because we cannot see the electrons by our eye, so how we can say electrons are emitting from the metal surface or ejecting from the metal surface when a suitable frequency of light is incident on the metal surface? This is the most important question in front of us. What is the evidence? So for evidence, we will arrange a setup. We will arrange a setup. Let us consider a evacuated Cooley's tube where there is a metal emitter C, consider, and acceptor A, and both are placed at any voltage something called V0. This voltage is called accelerating voltage. Accelerating voltage. Okay, Here is a quartz window. This window will transmit those light which they are only have violet color. Violet color light, because we know white light has 7 colors. Vibgyor, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. When we are moving from down bottom to top, then its wavelength will increases, and when we are moving from top to bottom, then its frequency are increases. The frequency of violet color is higher than the indigo, and the frequency of indigo color is higher than the blue, and the frequency of blue color is higher than the green, dot so on. Means the frequency of red color is very low, but the wavelength of red color is maximum. So we can see, when a suitable frequency of light is incident on the metal surface from any source of light, then electrons, photoelectrons starts emitting from the metal surface. Then photoelectron starts from the metal surface. Here we are supporting the photoelectric effects. We are supporting the photoelectric, because for photoelectric effect or photoelectric emission, here we are connecting the emitter plate with a negative terminal of high tension battery. Means negative, and electrons are also negative. Then this negative terminal helps to repel the photoelectrons with which they are ready for emission. And collector will help attract the photoelectron towards collector plate A, because it is connected to a positive terminal of high tension battery. Okay, so we can say this is the evidence. Here we will just connect how we know the photoelectric emissions are being have been done. So we can say we will just connect a microammeter to this circuit. We can see the photoelectrons are ejecting from the emitter plate, and it will reach to the collector plate, and accelerating voltage help in this process, and we get the photocurrent, which is measured by the microammeter. We will measure a photocurrent. Hence we can say here photoelectric effect will be done. A photoelectron will emit it from the metal surface. This is the evidence, photocurrent. So here some interesting phenomena are there. First, when we taking frequency of source of light is fixed, means first phenomenon, when frequency of incident violet light is fixed, but its intensity but its intensity starts increasing when we increase the intensity of light, then we can see the photoelectrons, the maximum number of photoelectrons starts emitting from the metal surface. Means when we will draw a photocurrent, a graph, photocurrent versus frequency, then we can see at a suitable frequency of light. We also repeating again and again, when a suitable frequency of light is incident on the metal surface, when the incident light has frequency less than the suitable frequency, means suitable frequency is called threshold frequency. When incident frequency of light is less than the threshold frequency, then photoelectric emission will not done. If the incident light frequency is equal to the threshold frequency or greater than the threshold frequency, then photoelectric phenomenon will be done. Okay, hence we can say that photoelectric current versus frequency, when the photocurrent, and when we will draw the graph between photoelectric current and frequency, when we are just taking a frequency less than the threshold frequency, then there is no photocurrent. When we are just increasing again and increasing, when we reached at a suitable frequency, which we called threshold frequency, then it's then photoelectrons are also starts emitting. After some time we can see, when we just increase its frequency greater than the threshold frequency, then we can see a large number of photoelectrons are emitting from the metal surface, and we will find their photocurrent like this. Then the graph of photocurrent versus frequency, which is incident on the metal surface, is like this. When a suitable frequency of light is incident on the metal surface, then we can find a photocurrent starts flowing through the circuit. Okay, this potential is called accelerating potential, because this potential helps the emission of photoelectron from the emitter plate. That's why this applied potential between the terminal of emitter and collector, it is called accelerating potential. This is first graph. And second, when we will draw the graph versus photocurrent versus stopping potential. Okay, we can see when we are taking stopping potential, fixed, frequency of light is fixed, and we will just increase the intensity of light, means stopping potential and frequency of light is fixed, only we will increase the intensity of light. Then we can see when we this is the stopping potential and it is incident on the metal surface like emitter plate C, then it will just nullify the applied voltage, that's called stopping potential, and photocurrent will starts Okay, we can find the photocurrent. This is the intensity of light I1, and when we will increase the intensity of light like I2, that's I2 is greater than I1, then we can just find, see the graph, the photocurrent will be, the magnitude of photocurrent will increases because the number of photoelectrons are more emitting from the emitter plate, because the intensity of light is increases. And also increase, again increase, then we can also find the intensity, the photocurrent are also increase. But after some time the current is saturated, because all metals emitter plate has a limit of photocurrent. No any metal is found on in the universe that can give the infinite magnitude of photocurrent. Every metal has limitations. That's why they will give a saturation. Saturation means a saturation current means that was fixed. Okay, we can just increase due to the increasing its intensity. Some magnitude of photocurrent will increase due to the increasing of its intensity. Hence we can, here we can say I3 is greater than I2 is greater than I1, or I1 is less than I2 is less than I3, and the magnitude of current will increases when the intensity of light is increases. And last graph, when we will plot the graph versus photocurrent versus stopping potential. Okay, here we can see the stopping potential. First one, we are just incident a light on the metal surface, and also it starts increase the value of frequency of light. Means as we starts increasing the intensity of light, then photocurrent will nullify the applied stopping potentials, and they will start, after some time they will give us a photocurrent. And also we are increase the stopping potential. This is frequency nu1. So we can see at the frequency of nu1, when we increase the stopping potential, then we cannot find the photocurrent, because accelerating stopping potential is greater than the incident frequency. So we will just also starts increasing the frequency of light, and after some time we get the saturation current, same saturation current, and we will also increase the stopping potential, and we are also increasing its frequency like this, and we just find its frequency, and this it will give the saturation current. Okay, there are three graphs. First is photocurrent versus frequency like this, and stopping potential versus photocurrent versus stopping potential like this, based on intensity of light. Here the frequency, we can see the frequency of light nu3 is greater than nu1 is greater than nu2 is greater than nu1. Here we can see intensity will increase the number of photoelectrons, but frequency can increase the kinetic energy of electrons. There is a basic difference for intensity and frequency. If we will increase the intensity, then we get the maximum number of photoelectron which will emitted from the emitter plate, and when we will increase the frequency of light, then we can increase the kinetic energy, the velocity of photoelectrons. Velocity of photoelectrons means with the help of intensity we cannot increase the kinetic energy of photoelectrons, but with the help of frequency we can increase the photoelectrons. Okay, this is the basic difference between them. Okay, so this is the photoelectric effect when we support the photoelectric effect, and when terminal is applied like this, and when we just reverse the terminal with the help of commutator. Here we can use a commutator. When we will invert the polarity of applied terminals, then this potential will converted in stopping potential. Here plus and here is a minus, then this is called stopping potential. Okay, so this is called stopping potential. Stopping potential means when we incident the suitable frequency applied, photoelectric emission will start, but if we applied here stopping potential, then stopping potential means collector plate is negative, okay, and emitter plate is positive. So positive terminal will attract the photoelectrons, means it will create a resistor for emission of photoelectron. But when we incident a suitable frequency applied, then photoelectrons are also ejected from the metal surface or emitted from the metal surface. But when after emission, when they starts moving from collector plate, then electron are repelled by the negative plate, because electrons has character negative and this plate also negative, so they will repel by the emitter plate, sorry, collector plate. Okay, that's why this applied potential is called stopping potential. Means stopping potential, then what is called stopping potential? Stopping potential that will stop the flow of photocurrent. If we applied a suitable stopping potential, then it will stop the flowing of photo current. Okay, so that's why we are saying this potential is called stopping potential. Okay, and the graph like this, we can see the photoelectric effect. So Albert Einstein gives a equation. From this summary we can just we can see this energy it will gives energy to the electron. EV naught is equals to, this energy will stops the photocurrent, nullified the kinetic energy of photoelectron, half m v max of whole square. Means this energy will nullify the kinetic energy of photoelectrons. So we can see V naught is equal to half mv max square, and just reverse for Albert Einstein gives the equation like this. Albert Einstein gives the photoelectric equation, means when a suitable frequency of light is incident on the metal surface, then photoelectrons, means electrons which they are present at the upper surface of metal surface, are absorb some part of energy of incident light, due to the absorption of light, due to the absorption of energy of light, some energy we can say eat by the photoelectrons, and when a suitable frequency of suitable energy of light is absorbed by the electrons, then they are starts emitted from the middle surface. Okay, so we can say h nu with the frequency of light which is incident on the middle surface, and some part of energy will absorbed by the electrons, and the remaining energy, due to the remaining energy of means we can say something part of the energy is absorbed by the photoelectrons and some part is remaining which is incident. So they will starts moving, and the remaining part of energy will helps to movement of photoelectrons like this. They are starts moving. This energy, this is the remaining part will gives the velocity, means kinetic energy, means half mv max square is equals to h nu minus phi naught. This is the photoelectric equation. This is the photoelectric equation, means half mv max square is equals to h nu minus phi naught. If we can see, if the incident light has frequency nu is equals to nu naught, then electron will eat the energy equals to the incident energy of light. Means we can say electrons will absorb energy and reach at the middle surface. Means we can say they are just starts moving or ejecting from the middle surface, but with zero kinetic energy. So zero kinetic energy is equals to h nu minus phi naught, h nu naught minus phi naught. Therefore phi naught is equals to h nu naught. Okay, or we can say nu naught is equals to phi naught by h. Sometimes for numerical purpose we are using this relation also. Okay, and last second part is, if nu is less than nu naught, if the incident light has frequency less than the threshold frequency, then electron will not eject from the middle surface and there is no photocurrent. Okay, and last means there is no photoelectric effect. And last, if nu is greater than nu naught, means incident frequency of light is greater than the threshold frequency. So photoelectric effect definitely will be done. Okay, we can say half mv square, half mv max square is equals to h nu minus phi naught. Okay, if incident frequency greater than frequency, then we can say half mv max square is equals to h nu. Then electron will also emitted from the middle surface, means photoelectric effect must be done. Okay, so these are the discussion about photoelectric effect, means dual nature of light. After this picture we can see that after these phenomenon we will just announce light has particle nature. These discussion indicates that light has particle nature. Okay, so we will discuss some part of this chapter in next session. Okay, thank you.